So what are we painting today?
So we're painting this cute orange flower from the Getty. Orangish red. You are painting it and I am going to collage it with some pre-painted pieces of paper.
That sounds like fun. So I will show you how to use my template and trace it so you can paint with me. I'm going to flip over my page and use my pencil to just do like a little pencil rub. It's a really good workout for your arm. And then you just flip it over wherever you want it. Tape it down and trace it.
And while she is doing that, you guys also have on the template a petal to cut out, I don't know what that center little piece is called, and some little stamen and a leaf. So I already cut these out with some scissors. I'm gonna use these and use reddish orange for my petals, green for my leaves, yellow for my stamen, and a brownish purple for whatever this is called.
The middle of the flower.
The middle of the flower.
I don't know about the specific names. I think it's fine. People know. The middle of the flower.
The middle of the flower, wherever the pollen is.
And I am doing a good job at tracing, but I can also wing it a little bit, so don't be stressed on to be too specific. You can just kind of wing it a little bit.
Would you pass me the pink scissors, please? Thank you. So you guys can cut these out either using scissors, or if you have an X-Acto knife, that'll make it faster. I'll show you a couple with scissors, and then we'll speed up the process with X-Acto knife.
And then I'm just gonna make my lines a little darker so you guys can see.
I'm looking for a variety of greens and orangish reds so that we can get some depth and some interesting lines. So I might actually cut out, see this one has kind of horizontal lines. I'll cut another one that will have some more vertical lines just to play with the texture of this paint.
And then I'm gonna make my lines a little darker just so you guys can see what I'm painting. But when you trace, you need to see your lines. By no means do you need to retrace anything. I'm doing so that you can see.
Okay, so there I have 2 leaves. Now I'm just going to cut out some rectangles that are at least as large as those. And go in with the X-Acto knife.
And then I already painted one. So this is kind of what it will look like when I'm done. I'm just gonna put it like that. And then along with this one.
So I'm getting those edges together. I'm gonna use one of the leaves I already cut out, hold it down, and here we go with the X-Acto knife. I'm just gonna follow along the edges. Okay.
Okay, so while you're preparing that, I'm gonna start painting my flower. So again, you don't have to make your pencil lines so dark. It's just so you can see for me. And then I'm gonna start using any green. You can decide what greens you wanna use. I have like a grass green, a light green, and like an olive green, which I kind of like to mix together. And putting water down first. And again, I just have a little paint so you guys can see what I'm doing. But putting down water first is just an easier way so everything can move. So I'm putting down just dropping in color. And I may have to do one, paint one, skip a little piece, and then paint again, just so it's not flowing into one another. And you may have to do more than one layer, but you have to let it dry. So I'm dripping it in.
So I like how there's some dark kind of triangles behind the leaves there. So I'm going to cut out just a few triangles so that when I get to the point of laying it out, I have a few of those to play with. The X-Acto knife did not want to go through several layers, so I went through one layer and then I used scissors to get the rest. Okay, cut out a couple more leaves and then we'll move on to the petals.
And in the meantime, I'm just dropping in greens. Add a little bit of blue, add a little bit of purple to just get a different value of your green. And more water makes it lighter, so if you want to add more water and less paint, just make it a little lighter. I like how cute you're cutting. Snip,
snip, snip, snip. Okay, I think I have all the leaves that I'll need. I have more than enough leaves here, so I cut out several leaves. Now I'm gonna get started on the petals. So we have some great mixed red, pink, orange colors here that have been already prepped. Tempera paint on cardstock paper. And I'm going to try to find, again, different values on that paper. Oh, I am not good at opening the X-Acto knife today.
So if you, this thingy holds the blade in place.
Ah. Technique of the trade, borrowing someone else's X-Acto knife.
Oh, good. But yeah, you kind of want to secure that big blade.
Yeah.
It's a very awkwardly shaped X-Acto knife.
So I'm not worried about going exactly along the template. I just want to get kind of a general idea of the shape of the petal, because obviously not all petals are identical, which we see when we see this. Each one has this little indent, but they each have kind of their own shape and size. Oh, I might just stick with the scissors. I'll do the same thing. I'll cut out a few rectangles that will fit that template in, and then be able to cut through a few layers.
And in the meantime, I'm just painting, adding all kinds of different greens, blues, purples, just so I get different shades of green. Kind of the same what you are doing, looking for different greens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the variety in the single color helps make the painting more interesting.
And then I'm doing like a quick one layer, and you can always come back and add more when everything is dry. I would wait for it to dry before I add more, or else you're just going to move everything around the whole time. So I can see that I want to add more to this one, and I want to make a kind of a line in this one, but I'm just going to wait a little bit for it to dry, and then I can come back. Then, because some of my leaves are still wet, I'm going to come back to my middle section. So for that one, I kind of use brown and purple, and you can even use a tiny bit of blue. And I just want to make like a puddle somewhere on my palette. And I'm going to paint my first layer. And you don't have to like paint with big brush strokes. You kind of want to like touch, touch, touch. So when it dries, it shows the texture. You can even add a little bit of orange to that.
So I'm cutting through 3 pieces of that cardstock at a time.
Oh yeah, that seems like it works easier.
Speeds up the process. Definitely easier than the X-Acto knife.
And maybe it's just because he's so bulky, I don't know. My small one is missing.
I think it's also partially I'm sitting down here and
I know,
I get that upper body strength when I'm standing up.
I know, I stand up doing a lot of things. And then I want to wait a little bit before I go back. So this is kind of my first layer. Again, watercolor, I have at least like 2 or 3, or like I like to say, a gazillion layers. So you just have to do this and then let it dry and then come back. And I almost dipped in my tea.
The dangers of drinking while arting.
Then you can kind of just do like a finger test to see if your green is dry, and it is. And I'm going to do my petals the same way. So I'm going to wet one, and I'm going to go in my orange. Just need a little bit more water in my orange, and I'm going to drop in the color so the water kind of do all the work for you. And then look what happens if I just go into my yellow and I touch a little bit of yellow and I mix it in. And you can even drop in more color and kind of just move it, but you don't want to overpaint. And then I'm going to let that dry. And then I'm going to paint another one. So I'm going to skip one and I'm going to move to the next one. And so the ones below, like this one is in front of this one, I want to make a little darker. So I'm going to drop in a little bit more color. How are you doing with your cutting? Do you have everything?
I think I've got all my petals and leaves. It's time to move on to our yellow stamen. And you guys might have noticed as I was going through, I was kind of going a little bit outside of the template with each one. So there's a little bit of variety in terms of the length of the petal and where the little dip is in it. That was fun. Now I need to see, I need to find a brownish.
For the inside part that we just don't know what it is.
For the inside part where the pollen is. I want a little purple in it because it'll play off nicely with those. So here's kind of a purpley, tealy, brownish nature color. And this is, I don't know, a very weird amoeba organic shape that's going to go in the center. Cut it out around it. And you guys, if you want to simplify, you can totally just make it into a round circle. Usually when people are learning to paint or learning to create, you break it down as simply as possible and just make a perfect circle. But looking at the picture, we can see it's, I don't know, a funky amoeba shape. And there's some little triangles there, so I'll cut out a few little triangles just in case I want to use them.
That's like the it should be green kind of, because it's kind of where the green. I didn't even draw that in. You can be that precise. I've decided no. So I'm using orange and I drop in some yellow and I just let it mix. So this is kind of, again, first layer. So can you guys see how light this dries? And so I can just come back and add more color to it. And so it's like painting twice, kind of.
Moving on to the yellow, and I might make this even simpler. I'll cut out a couple of these actual stamen shapes, and I'm just going to cut out some tiny little ovals to make it easy. It's kind of a heart shape, the stamen, with a flat bottom.
Oh yeah. It's
Or if it's
interesting when you try to break stuff down to actually what shape it is.
yeah.
That should be a little bit wet still. So again, I'm going to be careful not that they flow into each other, but I'm going to paint all of them so they can dry, so I can come back again. And I'm just using orange and yellow.
It's looking nice.
Thanks. I cannot wait for you to start.
Start setting up the composition. We're almost there.
Do this one.
I think I'll just cut out like 5 of these little guys. I like to use uneven numbers when I'm doing things like leaves or nature.
Oh yeah, they kind of look...
They're like little smushed hearts.
Yeah.
They got dropped on the bottom and smushed down, cut off.
So where did you find this flower? I know you said you...
So we were at the Getty Center with my family, and to keep them occupied, my daughters asked to borrow my phone. So this is one of my daughters, actually. She took my phone and she likes to get in really close to the flowers to get all of the beautiful detail and specifics. She sees me do that all the time.
Oh, I do that too.
Walking around, I get really close. So she picked it up from me.
Sometimes I'm a little, I don't know, like scared, or like of all the habits that I see my son is picking up from me. I'm like, oops, Daisy, yeah, that was totally me.
There are the good ones that you say, thank goodness they got that from me, and then there are the ones that you go, oh dear.
Do I really do that?
That's from me.
I know, and then, you know, it's one of those things, I guess.
Now I'm just cutting out a few little ovals that I can stick in there if I want them. And then I think I am done with all my cutting.
Okay, so you know a little trick I do with the glue? I kind of put it upside down and then never put it flat. I let it lay down so the glue doesn't go all the way, you know, to the bottom. So sometimes I just want to put it up like...
Let it sit a bit.
Yeah. Let me put it between our cups. And then...
Yeah, when I often like to grab, I forgot to grab one, I like to grab a Q-tip or something. Toothpick or a Q-tip, but I'll use...
It should come out. I just like to do this, and then whenever I'm busy between glues, I never put it upside. I always let it lay down, so it doesn't go all the way down.
Good tip, just like the shampoo bottles.
Just like the shampoo bottles.
Okay, so I have a square piece of paper that is, they're called Strathmore tiles, and this one's a 6x6. They make 4x4s and probably a bunch of other sizes too. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start to actually lay out all the pieces on here in a similar composition to this photo. And then I will glue them down, and then at the end I'm gonna flip it over and trim it so that we have this nice perfectly square Instagram shaped flower. So I'm gonna move my pieces over here. And one thing that I like to do when I'm taking a photo is play around with getting closer in, further out, playing with different angles, and see how I can frame.
Oh, when you're taking the photo?
World, yeah.
I like to do that too. I took some really nice purple flower photos the other day too, where it's like all these different angles. I think we should paint that one. It looks really pretty.
It'll be fun. So I'm gonna start with my leaves because they are the farthest in the background. I'm just laying it out at this point.
Yeah, to see if you need maybe more.
Mm-hmm. And I have these pieces that I'll be able to just kind of pop into the background too. So
it's kind of like the painting. You always start with the background and then bold, 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 bold. So the green thing is, or this will be the last thing I actually work on. So start from the background. So you're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same process.
Same idea.
So it looks like I might need just some more of these darker triangles. We'll cut a few more out so that I have them to put in the back. And they're darker because they are kind of sitting under the flower, so they're in the shade.
Yeah, I've painted a few darker ones too, and I will come back and just make them a little darker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're doing the same idea. And now I'm just going back. So I've done my first layer, and now I just want to come back and add some like darker areas. So whenever you want to have this nice clean line, it's where you point your brush like this and like add more. You don't want to have so many white spots. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to paint them. I just had to leave them so my paint didn't flow. And then I just use some water and I kind of smoochy them up so they don't make those lines. But I do not want to use my first layer, so I can come back, I clean and I touch my towel and I just want to wipe it a little bit away like that. And then I will come back and try to fit in all these little spots. But again, before that line's dry, I want to just smooch it out a little. And then there's some spots.
Okay, so I have kind of the back there. So now I'm just going to start playing around with how I'm going to lay out the petals. And I am letting this be imperfect.
Do you sometimes do collages and then take a photo? Because that's what I do. I take a photo of what I did, and then so when I have to take stuff off, because they're overlapping, I can kind of refer back to my photo.
Yes, I am definitely going to do that. Or
I often do that because I'm like, it looks so perfect, and then when I start gluing down,
yes,
I kind of like lost my idea.
A little of the definition.
Sometimes when or when I have to stop and do something else, and I'm like, oh no, what was my idea?
Always helps to know that you can refer
It's so
back.
nice, yeah, that I just have phones with photos.
Okay, so I laid out all of my petals, and I have plenty of petals to cover that white space. So I put down the center, whatever we want to call it. Notice it's all coming, it's like growing beyond the square right now, but that's okay. We'll take care of that later. We'll trim that at the end.
It looks really pretty.
Thank you.
Cannot wait for it to be done, yeah.
Papers. These were courtesy of Erna's art students.
I make them paint papers and then we use them, and then sometimes I use them, but they use them too.
Reusing things that are saved from going in the trash bin.
Yes, recycled.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna worry about laying down all these little tiny pieces. I'll do that at the end. But now I have my composition. I know how I'm going to be doing it. And I'm going to actually kind of remove my whole flower piece. Scoot it over. And petals I'm not too worried about. I'm gonna move them over here, and I'm gonna start by gluing this darker green, almost blue, teal, I don't know what it is. I'm gonna glue that along the edge so that it catches any place that would have been white space.
Oh, I'm missing a little leaf that I didn't trace. When that happens, it's okay. You just move on.
I want to switch actually from, I'll add the, just because I'm using glue, thank you. And I don't want to get this gummed up cutting board. I'm grabbing a Trader Joe's bag to put under it. And there we go.
You want me to move my...
Oops. No, you're good. I will not glue you. I promise.
Are you gluing down our template?
I'm gluing our
It's okay.
inspiration photo.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go.
And again, I'm just adding more layers, like making some of the closest to the middle of the flower a little darker, and then I just come back with water and a clean brush and I just smooch out this edges.
Smooch.
Smoochy smoochy. And then I think I'm kind of good. And then I can come back and visit my greens. There's a little bit of white. Ooh, too much water.
I am just gluing these pieces down. They want me to push on them because it is kind of a thick paper that I cut out thin, so it wants to curl a bit. So I'm trying to tell it what to do.
Luckily, we have heavy books to solve that problem.
Yep. Lovely glue.
And then I'm gonna paint again on my leaves to just make sure they look not just flat. I'm gonna add some stuff to it. More paint. I like to make this mixture with green, blue and purple. I like to call it my shadow color because that's kind of the color I always use to make shadows. And I'm just adding a little bit like this, and I'm doing the same what I did with the orange. I clean, I touch, and then I just come back and soften, oh, not that big drop, soften all the lines.
So what I'll often do when I have a glue project that I'm working on is I pour a little puddle onto a paper plate and then pick up the pieces with a Q-tip or something so I can spread it all over. So you guys will sometimes see me doing that. Okay. I think I have all the background there that I need. I can always come back and add something dark if I need to later. I'm gonna get going on these leaves, not the petals yet.
I know, I get confused about petal and leaves. Or not confused, I'm so talking about it.
I know, they're all kind of the same shape.
Pieces of the flower.
Yes.
Just glue down the pieces of the flower.
And I just realized I don't really need to be putting the glue on the back of the petal because so much of it is coming off. So I'm going to switch that. Put my glue right on the paper here. Learn as you go.
Yeah, I guess we just always, as you do stuff, you always eventually find like an easier way to do it. Or it's kind of a shortcut. And then sometimes you drop a big drop of water on your painting and you don't want that. And then it just kind of goes everywhere.
I always say that's when the material is telling you what it wants to do. It's not cooperating. So then you have to work with it.
And then I'm just going to add like this. So I'm just kind of adding more so my background greens are just not one flat green. And I'm definitely using water to let the paint flow. And you will see even the sample I'm painting right now, it doesn't look like mine that I painted there, and that's okay. So that just shows that even mine cannot look like my sample. Like that happens all the time.
I'm going to start moving outside of this circular pattern so that I have different leaves on top of each other. So they're not all just going in one direction. They're going out in a radial pattern, but they're
I love all those greens
in different places. Aren't they pretty? Such rich color. Okay. Last leaf.
And then I'm gonna just paint the middle of my, so now I can see that my everything is dry. So I'm just gonna paint yellow. And even if you go a little bit over the middle, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it's lighter and darker, and you can just kind of fill in all the white spots with yellow.
So I'm looking for darker petals here to put towards the back. And I'm spreading them out kind of evenly, and then I will build up from them. Trying to remember sort of how I
Oh, how you had it.
Oops, that one's not so dark, but that's okay. And always referring back to the photo too, just to remember what a flower actually looks like as opposed to the made-up flower in my head.
I'm gonna take a little tea break.
I need to do the same. Come on.
Do you need more glue? Well, you can make a little puddle on your...
Yeah, I might end up doing that. It'll come. It's just telling me I need tea too.
What do you think about the tea?
That's good.
It's interesting, right?
It's very interesting. It's strawberry chili, so there's like the spice and the sweet. It's got a kick to it.
It was Juan's idea, by the way, to buy it. He was like, "Oh, let's try that."
Very interesting.
Okay. I just saw there was like a white little corner. Mixing. It almost it looks like a green sun. Like
the because of using the template, the leaves are very close in shape to one another, which is one of the reasons that finding those different lines with vertical and horizontal helps change it up. Because if you're looking at a real flower, you would see there are actually quite a few different shapes going on in there. Ooh, come on. But it simplifies. Makes it easy.
just
Funny glue sounds.
yeah, I think my yellow is dry, so I'm just gonna add again using purples and browns, maybe a little bit of orange, and I'm just gonna. So whenever you have to do like weird little shapes like this, I always want to say it's like doing like cursive bad handwriting. It's like you just want to kind of touchy
touchy.
Do like a scribble font kind of, I don't know.
So I'm going to come back over behind this petal and add some of the dark so that I get rid of that white there. And again, I'm going to trim everything at the end, so I just chuck it under the petal and the leaf. And other than that, I have 3 petals left, and I have 3 spaces for petals.
It looks really nice.
Thank you. Isn't it fun to see how you can take the same photo inspiration and
yeah, do different things.
So I'm moving that up to get rid of the white. This way is just blue.
Luckily it dries clear, so you don't have to worry too much.
Yeah. Sticky hands. Okay.
And then I'm using the same color, and I just want to come back and add a little bit more like dot in the middle.
Adding some of that shadow and depth.
Yeah,
there.
and just get some more texture. And I'm using orange and purple, and I just mix it, and I just come back and I add a little bit of that. You can add more water also.
The joy of peeling glue off your fingers. Elementary school.
I know. I think even I still like to do that sometimes. Like one of the satisfying things to do. I don't know why.
Yeah.
We are not crazy people.
No. I think actually I heard it's one of the most common childhood joys that when people think back to childhood, remembering.
That's what they remember.
Yeah, that feel of.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. So.
And now for this, you can make as many or as little as you want. It's really there's no right or wrong. I just always go back and make sure that you don't see any white spots. So even just touch it a little bit.
That's what I'm doing right now over here too. I put my petals down. When I glued them down, I put them down a little bit more, a little farther apart than when I was laying them out. So now I've got some little white spaces here in the center around my brownish purple, whatever it is. So I'm just gonna glue other little bits and pieces down. That remember we had those extra little triangles. Those are gonna go down now and help fill in some of those areas.
And I think my flower is done.
Fabulous.
Yeah. I mean, I can go back if I want to and make some. I mean, I can just see it over there, and I can come back in without touching. Add a little bit more orange.
And I'm almost wrapped up over here. I know you said that sometimes after you're done, sometimes you leave the pencil marks and sometimes you erase them once it's dry.
Yeah, but you have to wait for it completely to be dry or else you're gonna smudge it.
That's no fun.
It happened. And you can break your paper if it's also, you can like rip it. It's wet.
Okay. So I'm gonna get these yellow guys on there.
So, and then sometimes for me, I also need to know just when to stop because I can keep on adding another layer. But I think I'm gonna stop right now. Oh wait, before I'm stopping, one more.
You know what? I'm going to, these little tiny guys, I'm just gonna actually scoop out of the center. I'm getting messy.
Messy is good. Yeah, they're so small.
They're so bitty that they just kind of want that personalized attention of my pinky finger.
I think now I'm done. I'm gonna close my palette so I don't want to touch it again. And I'm gonna sip my
Force
tea,
yourself.
waiting for watching
Waiting
you.
for me to finish.
I think the cutting out part is kind of the hardest, or they take the longest.
I'm also, oh, that's my stomach. I'm also not super fast. I take my time, but this is a pretty quick project to do. Either way.
And if you make it smaller, it goes even faster. I mean, the bigger you go, the more pieces, or I don't know, the bigger.
That's true.
But if you go smaller, I love mini paintings. Like I like to do small ones.
Yeah, you have your 7 by 7 mini
My
paintings
7,
going on. Right, 7 weeks, 7 days of mini paintings. What week are you on right now?
Now I'm gonna do the one with the favorite objects.
Oh.
So as soon as I can, I'm gonna start with that.
You've done trees and flowers
And
and
then the food. The food was so
landscapes.
yummy.
Yeah. Clothes.
Clothes, like everything you like to wear.
Okay. Oops. Just getting these last couple little mini guys on, and then I'm gonna flip it over, trim, and we can put them side by side.
And then yeah, we can put them side by side. I love how yours turn out though.
Fun. So you guys got 2 projects in one.
2 projects, 1 template. I think it would be fun to do like a sketch. Although there's not a lot of light and dark areas, but I think it will still be nice to do it.
Yeah, maybe even a colored pencil sketch or something. Since, there's not so many different values.
Contrast, yeah.
Yeah. One way that I've heard that you can always tell the value is just switch it over to, thank you, black and white mode.
Oh yeah, and then you can play with that.
And then you can see whether your composition has much value or not. Okay, so I flipped it over. I'm gonna go right along this square, and then we're gonna flip it back and see how, oops, gluing away, thank you, how it turned out. Might need a couple
Yeah.
times on each line here. There we go. Oop.
Yeah, so good.
Got it. Thank you. Something so satisfying.
I know. To just trim it clean.
Yeah. And it's going to be exciting to flip it over.
Oh, yeah.
And see the final reveal.
Yeah.
That's fun. Edge that needs trimming there. Okay.
Cannot wait. It's like so exciting.
Right? Okay.
Ta-da! It looks so pretty. And then of course when everything dries, the glue is clear.
Yeah.
So you will not see all the white.
You won't see the glue anymore.
It looks so nice. Okay, so let's see. Kind of like that, yeah.
Side by side.
That is
Here's
so
our,
nice.
oops, getting glue everywhere.
Put
Disaster fingers. So here was our original photo from the Getty. You guys should totally go if you come into LA. It's amazing art and gardens. And we have Erna's watercolor, and we have my collage.
I love it. I think our projects look really nice.
Yay!
Okay, have fun.